Today we're going to make some quick and easy spring earrings using UV resin. I found those flowers at Hobby Lobby. They have a lot of different cute flowers that you can look for there. And I'm going to go ahead and just start tearing them into little pieces because they don't lay flat and they would be sticking out of your earring if you didn't. I have some light pink and some green, and that's what I'm going to be using for the first pair that I'm going to make. The bezels that I'm using are really thin, so you don't want to put too much resin or it'll overflow. I put a really thin layer down first, and I'm going to use my toothpick to move it around to the edges. And then I'm going to put some pink and green flowers along with the stems because I think the stems make it look interesting. Using the toothpick with a little bit of resin on it picks the flowers up and makes it a lot easier. I'm going to use the lighter to get the bubbles out, and then I'm going to go ahead and put another thin layer of resin on top. And once that's complete, you want to use your UV light for at least a minute, and that way we can take it off the tape later and you can use the UV light again. And I went ahead and made the second pair for that earring. Now, I went ahead and tore up some of the white flowers, and I'm going to make a necklace out of this one. Putting some white and pink along with the stems in this one as well. I think these bezels are really pretty. They're a little hard to get them to stick onto your UV tape though, because they're uneven and they have ridges on them. So once you put the UV light on all those for at least a minute, you can take them off. You're going to be putting them under the UV light again later. I went ahead and did the first bezel, and I'm going to go ahead and make the matching set right now. Again, just use your toothpick to move the resin around to the edges and add your flowers in. A lot of these flowers, even when you tear them up, they're still not going to lay flat, and sometimes I'll have to dig one of those out if they're not laying flat because I don't want anything sticking out of my earring. This one I'm using the light pink and the dark pink, and I think that's a really pretty contrast. Then you want to add some more on top, just a really thin layer to cover those flowers, and push the flowers down and use your UV light. Some of those didn't want to stay down. There you go. This pair, I thought it would be pretty to add a little bit of the gold flakes to it, and it actually ended up being my favorite pair that I made this day. I just tore the gold flakes into little tiny pieces and added them with the flowers, and it was really pretty. I'm using some of the dark pink flowers and some of the light pink. You'll see how I'm using the toothpick to tear it into really tiny pieces, and if you've ever used this foil, you know that it's really thin, and sometimes it's really hard to get it. See, it got on the UV tape and I couldn't get it off because it's so thin it just kind of melted into the tape, so I couldn't use that piece. But it really lasts forever. I got a 3-pack, and I'll add it in the description below. And there are 3 different colors, and this is the gold color. Then I'm adding a thin layer of the UV resin on top, making sure there's no bubbles, and using the UV light on that. And this is when you're going to take them all off the tape, put them under the UV light for at least another 2 minutes, and then you want to flip them over because the UV light sometimes doesn't get all the way through those flowers or the gold foil, And you want to make sure that you don't have any spots that it didn't cure on the back. So you want to cure the back as well, at least a minute. This is just some alcohol that I'm going to use to clean the earrings with. A lot of times that UV resin tape will leave a residue on the back of your earrings, and it'll even have like a green tint, just like the tape. So especially on the bezel part, it'll stick. So you want to make sure you're cleaning that really good and checking your earring that you don't have any of that sticky left on the back there. And do that to each of your earrings. This is what they look like once they've been cleaned. They turned out really beautiful. Again, I really think that the ones with the gold foil today are my favorite. And this is what it looks like once I've put them in their packaging ready to sell. It made 3 pairs of earrings and a beautiful necklace. If you like this video, I have a ton more on my channel. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.